Good afternoon. This is the 5FM Radio Main News. The headlines. Government reaffirms Zambia's commitment to multi-level governance and the localization of the SDGs. Institute of Internal Auditors of Zambia (IIAZ) has underscored the importance of skilled internal auditors in the management of CDF across the country. Mother who saw 6-year-old daughter given life term in South Africa. Facebook and YouTube 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Gift Sialuvalo has reaffirmed Zambia's commitment to multi-level governance and the localization of the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) during a high-level side meeting event held during the resumed second session of the UN Habitat Assembly. Minister Sialubalo emphasized that sustainable development cannot be achieved without the meaningful involvement of local authorities. Realization of the SDGs is a practical pathway to ensuring that global goals translate into tangible improvements of citizens at their grassroots level. Zambia welcomed the launch of the partnership platform on localizing the SDGs, co-led by UN Habitat and Italy, describing it as a strategic enabler of technical cooperation, resource mobilization, and peer learning, particularly among countries in the global south. Honorable Sialubalo further acknowledged the relevance of complementary initiatives such as SDG cities and the Local 2030 Coalition, which elevate the role of cities in the global development agenda. This is contained in a press statement issued by Liseli Kanyanga, Principal Public Relations Officer at the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
Event on multi-level governance for SDG localization. I would like to acknowledge the work by the UN Habitat in organizing this meeting on the sidelines of the resumed second session of the UN Habitat Assembly. I want to commend the government of Italy for sponsoring this meeting through the Ministry of Environment and Energy Security. I also want to commend the UN Habitat for providing leadership in advancing the commitments made under Resolution 2/6 of the second session of the UN Habitat Assembly.
The Institute of Internal Auditors of Zambia (IIAZ) has underscored the importance of skilled internal auditors in the management of the Constituency Development Fund across the country. The institute, therefore, has advised internal auditors, especially those involved in the management of CDF, to acquire skills in auditing as well as seek professional certification through the Chartered Institute of Internal Auditors (CIIA). Speaking during the Thursday's edition of the Burning Issue program, Institute of Internal Auditors Zambia disclosed that the institute is this year in June scheduled to host a conference for internal auditors from councils across the country. Mr. Mugelo stated that the conference aims to equip auditing officers with knowledge in the management of CDF to avoid misappropriation and misapplication of funds.
So auditors have a lot to do. So in terms of what we are doing as an institute, we have come up with this conference where we meet our colleagues for some good 3-4 days out there where they cannot be disturbed by the pressures of work. And we just begin to go through their experiences and some of the things that they need to look out for in their work. So I think at a local level, this is what we've done. But also, we are calling upon auditors, also even in the local councils, to undertake, professional certifications. The ones we mentioned, the Certified Internal Auditor, the CRMA.
Speaking on the same program, Francis Milambo, who is a senior auditor with a wider experience in fraud audit, that there is need for firms in government department to hire qualified auditors. Mr. Milambo, however, observed that the continued information gap has continued internal auditors, stressing that internal audit helps in detecting risks as well as enhances the operation, efficiency, and compliance of the firm.
So Internal Audit Awareness Month is basically a month that as auditors we set aside to say, look, can we raise awareness around the internal audit profession, what we do, and just to help to clear out the perception gap in terms of what internal audit really is and what people, the auditees and also just the general public think internal where there is mutual understanding on both sides, and then it makes our work easy but also much more appreciated by the auditees and the general public at.
Renowned climate smart agriculture expert Oliver Wulaya, who is also the executive director of the Agriculture Climate Action Foundation, has emphasized the critical need for collaboration between researchers and extensionists. Dr. Wulaya says while extensive research has been conducted in various agricultural domains, there remains a gap in communication, underscoring that the essential findings are not effectively relayed to the extensionists who play a vital role in translating their insights into practical applications for farmers. Dr. Bulaya, an agricultural development researcher, highlighted that if research or publications and fails to reach the intended audience farmers, then it lacks transformative potential. Dr. Bulaya acknowledged the importance of research within the country, noting that both government and private institutions are dedicated to finding solutions to specific issues to maximize impact. It is crucial to engage key organizations focused on development, ensuring that relevant findings are shared to benefit farmers effectively.
Essential findings are not effectively relayed to the extensionists, agricultural extensionists, for example, who play a vital role in translating these insights into practical applications. And if research, it concludes with journals, publications, and the intended audience and who are the farmers, then it lacks the transformative potential. Research should address social, economic, agricultural challenges. It must prioritize societal value over mere academic, advancements. Therefore, we need to bridge this gap by ensuring that
Zambia and Angola have taken a significant step in strengthening bilateral relations and regional cooperation with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) to initiate the Liuwa Plains Musuma Transfrontier Conservation Area (TFCA). The agreement was Implementation and Partnership Conference on Water, PANAFCON, held at Lusaka's Mulungushi International Conference Center. This the two African neighboring countries development and cross-border resource management. The growing importance of conservation as a pillar of geopolitical collaboration on the continent. The cooperative aims to formalize negotiations on the establishment of a shared conservation zone linking Angola's Musuma region with Zambia's Liuwa Plains National Park, a site of significance. By bridging these two landscapes, the TFCA initiative seeks to preserve critical ecosystems while advancing regional stability and community empowerment. Acting Minister of Tourism Collins Zovo has held the agreement, saying it is a strategic instrument for fostering regional peace, scientific cooperation, and sustainable livelihoods. He emphasized the importance of shared ecological responsibilities in preserving the Zambezi Basin, a vital water source for hydroelectric energy, biodiversity, and food security. And in other news trending this afternoon, Radiation Protection Authority senior researcher Ernest Miyombo notes that currently there is no firm authorized to conduct uranium mining activities across the country. Over 2.2 million kwacha has been set aside from the 2025 Constituency Development Fund CDF to be spent on water project in Chawama constituency's John Howard compound. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The National Biosafety Authority (NBA) has granted and distribution limited permits to import products which may contain genetically modified organisms (GMOs). The permits are valid for 5 years. However, the companies will have to renew their permits for placing the products on the market every 6 months to ensure compliance. NBA Communication Officer Sandra Lombe told 5FM Radio that Cold Chain will import and place on the market Freemax potato crisps, Freemax corn crisps, Tate's crisps, and Bokomo cereals, while Abdims will import Hungry Lion cheap spices. She added that the decision to grant the two companies permits was arrived at during the 31st NBA Ordinary Board meeting held on 27th May 2025 in Chilanga. Ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And in foreign news, a South African woman convicted of kidnapping and trafficking her 6-year-old daughter has been sentenced to life in prison, along with her two accomplices. The jail term of Raquel Kelly Smith, her boyfriend Jacqueline Apollis, and their friend Stevino Van Rines come more than a year after Jocelyn Smith mysteriously disappeared outside her home in Sonderton Bay near Cape Town. Despite a highly publicized search for the girl, who vanished in February 2024, she is yet to be found. The sentencing follows a 6-week trial that captivated South Africa, with witnesses and prosecutors making a number of shocking allegations. Judge Nathan Erasmus said he drew no distinction between the trio in handing down the sentences. And in sports news, Zambia's women national team held their first training session upcoming FIFA International friendly match against Botswana on Saturday. Had their maiden session under the watchful eye of coach Nora Hopto. Saturday's fixture against the Mares will kick off at 15 hours at Lucas Masterpieces Maripa Stadium, with streams available on Sabic Sport. The team had arrived in South Africa on Tuesday and is using the international window to fine-tune preparations for the Total Energies Women's Africa Cup of Nations (WAFCON) to be held in Morocco from 5th to 26th July 2025. The Copper Queens engagement against Botswana forms part of a 3-nation friendly series that also involves hosts, with Vanyana edging Botswana 3-2 in the open fixture. Zambia will face Botswana in Saturday's match before wrapping up the series against South Africa on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025. And now, the weather report. Forecast for the afternoon: northwestern, Copper Belt, central and western provinces, including the western parts of southern and Lusaka provinces. Mainly cloudy, windy at times, and mild to warm. Maximum temperature will range from 24 degrees to 29 degrees Celsius. The evening will be partly cloudy, windy at times, and warm to mild. Luapula, northern, Muchinga, and eastern provinces, including the eastern parts of southern and Lusaka province. Partly cloudy, windy at times, and mild to warm. Maximum temperature will range from 25 degrees to 28 degrees Celsius. The evening will have few clouds, windy at times, and mild. That weather item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Gibbs Yaluwalo has reaffirmed Zambia's commitment to multi-level governance and the localization of the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) during a high-level side event held during the resumed second session of the UN Habitat Assembly. The Institute of Internal Auditors of Zambia (IISA) has underscored the importance of skilled internal auditors in the management of the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) across the country. And finally, the South African woman convicted of kidnapping and trafficking of her 6-year-old daughter has been sentenced to life in prison along with her 2 accomplices. For more news, follow us on Facebook and YouTube, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM. Stay safe. My name is Lance Sannie. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.